Good morning, boys, and welcome to Wednesday, March 3rd. So let's start our day in prayer. And I know it's a new prayer, but you did great when you were in class with me on Monday. And hopefully you did well yesterday. So let's fold our hands and bow our heads. 2 little eyes to look to God, 2 little ears to hear his word, 2 little feet to walk in his way, hands to serve him all of my day. Amen. All right, so let's just do a couple of our March songs and poems. I have a little clover. It's as green can be. Watch me as I count the leaves. 1, 2, 3. And do you remember what I told you was special about a 4-leaf clover? If you're lucky enough to find a clover with 4 leaves, it's supposed to be lucky. So if you're looking around outside, look for a 4-leaf clover. And on Monday, we planted clovers or shamrocks. So hopefully pretty soon they'll start popping up, and then you can check and see if any of your clovers are 4-leaf clovers. Green, we love you. Yes, we do. You're the color of the grass and the trees and lettuce too. Green, 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 green. What is green? What is green? The grass and the plants and the trees and the leaves, the lettuce we put in our salad to eat, the grasshopper hopping around at our feet. They are green. They are green. Good job. Okay, we're going to get a little exercise before we start our work, our seat work. Let's get down low and pretend I'm a little frog in a pond I am. Hippity hoppity hop. How high can you hop? Get down all fours and hop. Hippity hoppity hop. Watch me as I jump in the air so high. Hippity hoppity hop. Good job. Okay. So today we're going to continue with our letter D. And the reason why I picked this D is because I know that you know that this is the letter D, but I thought it would be fun to use our dots, because dots begin with D, and take our dots and fill in the circles on the letter D. And then we're going to continue to work on our graphs, and we're going to take a look at kites, and you can see our friend the mouse. He's got a bunch of kites here with different patterns on them, so we're going to graph those different patterns. And we're going to talk about diamondback snakes. This snake actually has a design on its back that are the shape like diamonds. Diamonds is another D word. So I just glued on those pieces that I've included in your packet, but you can go ahead and color this first if you would like. When your friends did it in class, they colored it and then they put the diamonds on. So diamond is another D word. So this is the diamondback snake. And then, because I'm so excited that it's March, I told you I love March because, well, first, because I'm Irish. I'm a lot of different nationalities, but I have Irish in me, and I have Irish, my parents have relatives that live in Ireland, as well as Mr. Wilson has family who lives in Ireland because his mom is an O'Connor. So we have family that live in Ireland and England and Scotland. So we're pretty lucky. We have family all around the world. So in March, we celebrate St. Paddy's Day. We also talk about the wind and the weather. And boy, yesterday was super duper windy. So we could hear the wind for sure, and it was cold out. And then here's our lucky coins and our clovers, and then of course our beautiful rainbow and the word March. So we can color and paint this, whatever you want to do. It's just a fun worksheet, but it reminds us of the things that we're going to learn about in March. So I hope that you use a lot of green in this if you can, especially on our kite, because green is the color of the month. All right, so let's jump in and start with our D. Okay, so we're going to help get our little fingers working. Whew. I like to stretch them out a little. And we're going to start taking our dots, which is a D word, and we're going to go through our letter D, and we're going to peel our dots off of our sticker dots off, and we're going to put our dots all along here. So we fill in the whole D. Now, I don't have enough dots in front of me to do that. And it's okay if some of your dots are cut like this because, yeah, Miss Sheila did some cutting and cut a lot of them. And some of them I did a great job. And some of them not so great, as you can see on this one. But it's okay. We're going to pretend that they're all perfect circles. I'm just going to do as many dots as I have. And I'll show you. Okay, and you should have enough to fill all of these in. And this kind of reminds me of the craft we did when I read you the book, Take Me to the Zoo. I think it's Take Me to the Zoo. Or let me get, you know, it's right here. I knew I was saying the wrong thing. I do that all the time with this book. Put me in the zoo. So these dots remind me of the craft that we did with this guy. Some of the same colors. He's a fun book. That's a fun book to read. Okay. So hopefully by now you've had enough time to put your dots and fill your letter D. If you didn't have enough time, you can put that aside and do that later. All right, so let's talk about cool kites. All right, I would prefer that you do this in crayon because if you try to color with marker, it is going to be a wet mess. So I'm going to take my crayon out. I think I'm going to use purple. And we're going to write our name on the top. And I just want to say, again, how proud I am of both of you for the way you take your time and do such a nice job with your name. I am super proud of you. All right, so after our name, it says we're going to count. The hand's telling us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to count. And then after we count, we're going to color to complete the graph. All right, so here are the kites, the different types of kites. And here it says the number of kites. So we're going to start with our checked kite or a plaid kite. So we're going to look at this kite here, and then we're going to go over to our picture of our friend the mouse holding the kites, and we're going to count how many of this pattern we see over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We see 4 of these. So we're going to come over here. And we're going to count, look at our numbers down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, because we see 4 of this pattern. So when we're done coloring in our boxes, we are going to have 4 boxes colored in because we saw 4 kites in this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's take the next pattern. It almost looks like a sun. And decide how many of these kites that are going to match this kite are over here. And you tell me when you have figured out how many of the sun kites do we see over here. And then you let me know how many squares we're coloring in. So we see 1, 2. Is that correct? Is that what you got? 2? So are we coloring in 1, 2 boxes? Good. Yes. 2 boxes. Awesome job. All right. So now our graph is telling us that in the pattern or the type of kite that looks like it has a sun on it, we are counting 2, 1, 2 of them. So we're filling in 2 squares. All right, let's look at our last flag down here. It has circles. And we're going to go over to our mouse that's holding the flags. and we're going to look at how many kites you spy with the same pattern. This is the pattern we're looking for. So how many kites do you spy in that pattern? Do you spy 1, 2, 3? Very good. Yes, I spied 3 as well. 3 in this pattern. 1, 2, 3. So we look down here. Here's the number 3. Here is the type of kite it is. 1, 2, 3. So now our graph is complete. It's showing that we spy 4 of these, this type of kite, 2 of this type of kite, and 3 of this type of kite. Now let's go down. There's 2 questions, and they're asking us to circle the correct answer. So it's asking which has the most. So which of our 3 kites, sorry, not flags, kites, which of our 3 kites has the most in this bunch of kites? Does the checkered one, does the one that looks like the sun, or does the one that have the circles? Which kite has the most? And you can look down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we look up and we see that this flag is the flag that has the most. So we're going to go back down to our question, and we're going to circle this flag down here, letting us know that that has the most. That flag has the most. And the next question, number 2, says which has the least? Which has the least? So if this kite has the most to 4, which kite has the least? They all have 1. They all have 2. Oh, they don't all have 3. So this kite only has 2. So this kite that has the sun symbol has the least amount of kites. There's only 1, 2 of them. So we would go down the bottom and we would circle the kite that has the sun symbol. Right there, the middle kite is what you're going to be circling. Okay, and if you want to go back and you want to color the kites in over here, or color my friend the mouse, you can do that when it's coloring time. All right, excellent job. Graphs are tricky, and you guys are rocking it. All right, so I picked the diamondback snake for a couple reasons. One is I don't like snakes, and your friends in class tease me all the time that there's a snake on my head, or there's a snake on my desk, or there's a snake on my coat. They're always teasing me. So I decided to tease them back and tell them that my favorite reptile was a diamondback snake. I think they believed me. It's not really. But I decided to cut out these really cool colors in shapes of diamonds. So you can find them in a little bag. And you can decide if you want to take your crayon or your marker. I think I like crayons better. And you can start coloring him in if you want. Now, a real diamondback snake, he does have the shape of diamonds on his back, but mostly diamondback snakes are black, gray, or brown. And their diamonds on the back are the same colors, just a little darker. And sometimes you can even see a little bit of blue in them. So I just started coloring this. If you're going to color it first, so it's pretty hard once you have the shapes on. And I was thinking too that snakes have that tongue, the long tongue that comes out, makes them slithering snakes. So if you want, we could put a tongue coming out of our snake. I just put a little tongue coming out of our snake. So, upside down, sorry. Our diamondback snake, I chose it because D for diamonds. So we're gonna color it first, and then we can put our shapes on. And you can put this aside for your coloring and your craft time. I would like to read you a book. It's called Good Luck, a St. Patrick's Day Story. And the characters in this story are ants. Pretty cool looking ants, I'd say. All right, I'm just gonna get a quick drink of water before I start reading. Now in our story, you're gonna spy a green ant. And I think it might be a leprechaun ant, if there is such a thing. The Ant Hill St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's a parade, said Wade. So listen to the words because I think we're going to hear a little bit of rhyming. It's a parade, said Wade. We have parades around here in Philadelphia and in New York. Green bike, said Mike. Green hat, said Matt. Green ant, said Grant. So we have a green bike, we have green hats, and look at this green ant down here. It's looking awfully close to a leprechaun. Catch him, said Jim. But why, said Guy. For luck, said Chuck. That way, said Jay. So catching, because I guess catching the leprechaun is going to bring good luck. I told you, though, leprechauns are pretty fast. No ant, said Grant. No luck, said Chuck. A clue, said Drew. And what's the clue? I think it's a shamrock, a 3-leaf shamrock. Hey, look, said Brooke. Chase him, said Jim. Did you spy him down here? No ant, said Grant. No luck, said Chuck. What? Clue 2, said Drew. What's the clue? A rainbow. Up there, said Claire. Get him, said Jim. Look at this beautiful rainbow. And there he is at the end of the rainbow. No ant, said Grant. No luck, said Chuck. Clue 3, said Dee. What's the clue? It looks like a pot. Green ant, said Grant. Grab him, said Jim. Climb it, said Kit. Look in, said Lynn. So they're climbing up this big pot. Oh boy, said Roy. A treat, said Pete. What's he eating? Hope he's going to share. It looks like crackers. Good luck, said Chuck. So since they're all in there eating the crackers with him, they've caught the green ant and now they think they're going to have luck because it says good luck, says Chuck. And they're all having a snack. The end. All right, so here's our last paper that we're going to do. And the only thing that I'm going to do with you, because you can color or paint whenever you want, but rainbows are one of my favorites. So I always think of growing up and watching Captain Noah. And that's probably not someone that you know, but I think it might be someone that Mommy and Daddy know. And I remember them having a song about singing a rainbow and singing the colors of a rainbow. So red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. So that's what they were talking about with the rainbow. So if you look in our book here, you can see some of the pretty colors of the rainbow, and it starts with blue and then it goes to purple or violet, to red, orange, to yellow, and then green. So I'm going to keep my book open just to remind myself of those colors. And I think I'm going to start with blue. And I'll show you my rainbow. I'm doing markers just because they're a little quicker. But you can use markers or crayons. So I started with my blue. And my next color is going to be purple. And this makes me think of yesterday when we mixed colors And then red's next. So now I have my blue, my purple, my red, and then orange. And then I'm going to finish off with yellow. Now, of course, we know there's more colors in the rainbow than this because we need green, red, and yellow. And we can even do, I might even just take my green, even though the picture is done, and I can put my green right on the top here. So I got my green in there. So that's my rainbow. And like I said, the other things on the page, you can color anything any way you want. I'm going to color my coins gold. And my pot of gold, my pot would be black. But again, like I say, it's your creation, so you can color it any way you want. I'm just going to do the handle so you guys kind of get an idea. And my clovers or my shamrocks down here, I'm going to make them green. Now remember, boys, to let me know when you start seeing your shamrocks or your clovers. I think the book that we read called them clovers, shamrocks rather. There we go. Let me know when they start popping up. I'd love to see pictures of them. So this is March. We talk about the weather in March, the rainbows, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, of course our shamrocks or our clovers. We have a couple stars here. This is the clouds. The clouds move a lot in March because of the wind. So that's fun to watch. And this can be done at your coloring time. Or if you want to paint this, you can too. Up to you. You know the drill. You know what you need to do. Because you're super de-duper good listeners, and I'm so proud of you. All right, so our letter D with the dots, our cool kites, we're graphing them, putting them by type on the graph, counting them, seeing how many of each are represented. We're doing the diamondback snake, and then we're doing our March worksheet. All right, so that wraps it up for Wednesday, March 3rd, and I will see you back here on Thursday, March 4th for another lesson. Awesome job. Keep up the good work. See you later.